Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to continue the discussion, and now we are on. We have the three remaining topics. We have first the types of feet. The second is stylistic analysis of poetry and poetry explication. And third one is survey of poetry authors and their unique style. So the first presenter would be Miss Michelle Pasuhil, and the second presenter would be Miss Erica Orabi, and third and last presenter would be Mr. Jerome Luares. So may I have Miss Michelle Pasuhil to take over the platform, please? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I am tasked to discuss about the types of feet. So when we say feet or the poetic foot, it is a unit of stressed and unstressed syllables in a line of poetry. Poetic feet are based on the number of syllables in each foot. The literary device foot is a measuring unit in poetry, which is made up of stressed and unstressed syllables. So when we say stressed syllable, it is a part of a word that you say with greater emphasis than the other syllables. It is generally indicated by a vertical line, whereas the unstressed syllable is a part of a word that you say with less emphasis than the stressed syllables, and it is represented by a cross. I have here an example. Kindly read Miss Correos, please. Miss Correos. How about Miss Guazon?
Hi everyone, please do cooperate since the presentation is recorded. Thank you.
How about Miss Oribi, please?
If music be the food of love, play on. Give me excess of it. That surfeiting. The appetite merely setting and survive. That's plain again. It had a dying fall. Oh, it come ere my ear, like a sweet sound.
Thank you, Miss Oribi. So this stanza is taken from William Shakespeare's well-known play The Twelfth Night. It has been composed in iambic pentameter. So when we say iambic pentameter, it is a line of verse with 5 metrical feet. Putting these two terms together, iambic pentameter is a line of writing that consists of the syllables in a specific pattern of an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. So to make it easy to understand the unstressed and stressed combination of syllables, the stressed syllables are given in bold font. The combination of feet creates meter in poetry. Later, these meters are joined for the composition of a complete poem. So therefore, a foot is the formative unit of the meter. So here are the types of feet. First is the iamb. It is the combination of unstressed and unstressed syllable the doom. So you don't get confused. The da represents the unstressed syllables while the doom represents the stressed syllable. For example, from Shakespeare's Sonnet 18 starts, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" So we can see from my screen that the second syllable or the underlined words are the stressed syllable. Second is the choky. It is the combination of stressed and unstressed syllables dumda. For example, from the poem of W.H. Auden entitled In Memory of W.B. Yeats, in the deserts of the heart, let the healing fountain start. In the prison of his days, teach the freeman how to praise. So the underlined words are the stressed syllables, while the italicized words are the unstressed syllables. Third is the spandi. It is the combination of two stressed syllables, dum dum. For example, from the poem of Ben Jonson entitled Slow, Slow, Fresh, Found. So to determine where the emphasis is placed in a word, you must say the word out loud and notice how both syllables are stressed. For example, who whips out her division when she sings, droop herbs and flowers, full grief in showers. So that is the example of a spandi. Fourth is the anapisc. It is the combination of two unstressed and a stressed syllable, dadadum. For example, from the poem of Dr. Seuss entitled Oh, the Places You'll Go. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who decide where to go. So as what I have said earlier, the bold or the underlined words are the stressed syllables, while the italicized words are the unstressed syllables. Fifth is the dactyl. It is the combination of stressed and two unstressed syllables, dum dada. For example, from the poem of Samuel Taylor Coleridge, entitled The Ovidian Elegiac Meter, in the hexameter rises the fountain's silvery column. In the pentameter, a falling in melody back. So this is an example of a dactyl because the first syllable is stressed followed by the two unstressed syllables. So sixth is the amphibrach. It is the combination of unstressed, stressed, and unstressed syllable dadunda. For example, from the poem of W.H. Auden entitled Oh, Where Are You Going? Oh, where are you going? Said reader to rider. That valley is fatal where furnaces burn. So this is an example of amphibrach because these words have one stressed syllable between two unstressed syllables. And lastly is the pyrrhic. It is the combination of two unstressed syllables, dada. For example, here are a few examples of a pyrrhic meter from the poem of Andrew Marvell's entitled The Garden, to a green thought in a green shade. So as what I have said earlier, the unstressed syllables is part of a word that you say with less emphasis. So moving on to the different types of line length, monometer, dimeter, trimeter, to octameter. As you can see from my screen, these are the examples of the different types of line length. First is the monometer. Monometer is a line of verse with just one metrical foot. Dimeter is a metrical line of verse with 2 feet. Trimeter is a meter or a line that consists of 3 iambic feet. So the slant will be counted to determine how many feet it is. For example, 1, 2, 3. So it is the example of a trimeter. Tetrameter is a line of poetic verse that consists of 4 metrical feet. Pentameter is a line in verse or poetry that has 5 strong metrical feet or beats. Hexameter is a metrical line of verses consisting of 6 feet. Heptameter is a type of meter where each line of verse contains 7 metrical feet. So the bold font will be counted to determine how many feet it is. And lastly, the octameter. It is a line of verse consisting of 8 metrical feet. So let's come now to the two types of meter. First is the rising meter. So it is a term used to describe end-stressed meters such as iambic and anapestic as opposed to falling meter. For example, today, intervene. So anapestic and iambic meters are called rising meters because they move from an unstressed syllable to a stressed syllable. The second
Uh,
one, the second one is the falling meter. It is a term used to describe front-stressed meters such as trochaic and dactylic as opposed to rising meter. For example, daily. The second one is yesterday. So trochaic and dactylic meters are called falling meters because they move from stressed to unstressed syllable. So to differentiate the two types of meter, rising meter moved from um, as unstressed syllable to a stressed syllable, whereas the falling meter moved from stressed to unstressed syllable. So that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.